Forget broomsticks and Broadway musicals. When we talk about defying gravity, we mean real-life humans doing everything they can to break free from gravity. This fundamental force shapes everything from how galaxies form to why your coffee mug crashes to the floor. From athletic power moves to base jumpers leaping off cliffs to jet suits roaring through the sky and space tourism visits to orbit, our species has spent centuries trying to slip gravity's grip, even if only for a few glorious seconds. On this episode of Natural Forces, we're explaining how despite humanity's desire to transcend limitations, gravity can't just be turned off like your phone's Wi-Fi. It's always there, always pulling. However, humans won't give up trying to defy it, even if it means risking their lives in the process. And we're just warning you, for most of the clips we're about to show you, it is not recommended to try this at home. Here's something that might surprise you. Gravitational force is actually by far the weakest of the four fundamental forces of nature. It's simple to challenge gravity temporarily. You only need to apply enough force in the opposite direction to do what you want to do. Every time you stand up or even pick something up, you're overcoming gravity's pull. But some people take this to superhuman levels. Take the human flag, a popular calisthenics move where you grab a pole and hold your body out sideways, parallel to the ground. It looks impossible, but here's the physics. These athletes are creating what's called a moment balance. Their core muscles generate rotational force, or torque, around the pole to counteract gravity's attempt to rotate their body downward. Think of it like a perfectly balanced seesaw, except the seesaw is a human and one side is fighting the entire planet. Similarly, acrobats, gymnasts, and calisthenics pros create these incredible moments where people seem to float in impossible positions. But here's what's actually happening. These athletes are not truly beating gravity. They're just applying enough muscular force in the opposite direction to create a temporary stalemate. It's like arm wrestling with the universe. And spoiler alert, the universe never gets tired. Rock climbers have basically looked at gravity and said, what if? No. They've turned vertical surfaces into highways, making the impossible look casual. The physics here is fascinating. They're not actually defying gravity, they're redirecting it. Every grip and foothold creates friction and structural support that redirects gravitational force through their contact points with the rock. Their muscles work to maintain these contact forces while gravity tries to peel them off the wall. Think of it this way. Instead of falling straight down, they're forcing gravity to pull them through their fingertips and toe holds. It's a constant negotiation where every move redistributes how Earth's pull affects their body. Or instead of climbing the wall, why not just walk up the side of the mountain? Parkour athletes take that athleticism and add momentum. To them, cityscapes are giant jungle gyms. By converting horizontal speed into vertical motion, they can vault walls, climb buildings, and stick landings that look like video game physics. But really, it's a mix of strength, timing, and efficient force application. These incredible parkour videos feel like you're watching a computer game rather than real people, but every movement follows Newton's laws of motion perfectly. But not everyone approaches gravity like it's an enemy to be conquered. Some turn it into a dance partner. French acrobatic artist Bastien Dausse designs sophisticated mechanical systems that he uses to blend art, performance, and physics into something that looks like pure magic. His gravity-defying performances look so effortless that people literally ask where they can buy his equipment in the comments. But here's the secret. Those devices aren't anti-gravity machines. They're precisely engineered pivot points and counterweight systems that create new balance points for his body. As Dausse once said, "This theme of defying gravity has always been a central element in my work, representing both a physical and metaphorical escape." The key word here is representing, because in reality, gravity is still very much in charge. These devices act as mechanical assists, but they still require all of Dausse's acrobatic skills, developed over many years, to create this illusion of weightlessness. Sometimes you can create the illusion of defying gravity using relative motion and acceleration. Take jumping on a moving boat at just the right moment. Here's the physics. When a boat drops suddenly into a wave trough, it accelerates downward faster than gravity would normally pull you. For a brief moment, you and the boat have different accelerations. You're still following your original trajectory while the boat drops away beneath you. This creates a sensation of weightlessness, even though gravity never stopped pulling. In physics terms, it's a moment of free fall combined with relative acceleration. The boat's motion tricks your inner ear into thinking you're floating, but you're really just experiencing different reference frames in motion. Some humans decided that biological limitations were cramping their anti-gravity style, so they built themselves some upgrades. British inventor Richard Browning created the world's fastest personal jet suit, gas turbines strapped to the body with 3 points of thrust for stability. This engineering marvel operates on Newton's third law. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. The suit burns fuel to create high-velocity exhaust gases downward, and those gases push back with enough force to lift Browning upward. This thing burns through a gallon of fuel per minute, costs $500,000, and still can't actually defy gravity. It just produces thrust greater than gravitational force, like a wearable helicopter. It's not fighting gravity so much as outpowering it with controlled explosions. Base jumpers take a different approach entirely. They embrace gravity and use it strategically. Leaping from cliffs, they use fabric wings to control their descent, trading altitude for forward motion like human gliders. They're not defying gravity. They're negotiating with it, using aerodynamic lift to slow their fall until they deploy parachutes for a controlled landing. It's pure adrenaline, but eventually even they have to rejoin the rest of us down here on Team Gravity. Why do they do it? As base jumper Christopher McDougall described in a riveting interview with podcaster Bradley Dryberg,
the second you commit to that jump, there's no past, there's no future. There's literally the present moment, and it's like a beautiful silence for that first second. We're at the mercy of gravity because your wings haven't inflated yet, you haven't taken flight, so you're falling. And you know at this point in time that if you don't do anything about it, you are dead. So you're in control of your own destiny, which is an incredible feeling. To be in control of your own destiny and future.
Ever heard of the Vomit Comet? It's a plane designed to simulate weightlessness through a clever physics trick. The aircraft flies in parabolic arcs, up, over, and down, creating brief windows where the plane and its passengers fall at exactly the same rate. For about 25 seconds, passengers experience true weightlessness. It's the closest thing to anti-gravity technology we have, and it works by putting everything inside into controlled free fall. Here's an important distinction that even some science communicators get wrong. Zero gravity and zero g-force are often used interchangeably, but they describe different things. Zero gravity would mean the complete absence of gravitational force, which is impossible to achieve. Zero g-force describes the sensation of weightlessness experienced during free fall or orbital motion, even though gravity is still very much present. So when people say zero g, they really mean the sensation of weightlessness. Remember, gravity is inescapable. Recently, Katy Perry and other female celebrities made headlines for taking a Blue Origin spaceflight together. These suborbital journeys carry passengers past the Kármán line, the internationally recognized boundary of space at 100 kilometers altitude, allowing them to experience several minutes of weightlessness. While these flights received criticism, they demonstrate something fascinating about orbital mechanics. Astronauts in space aren't floating because gravity stopped affecting them. They're in a state of continuous free fall around Earth. They're falling toward our planet just like everything else, but moving sideways so fast that they keep missing. This follows principles that Newton described centuries ago and Einstein refined with general relativity. The curvature of space-time around massive objects like Earth creates what we experience as gravitational attraction. Humans have always dreamed of flying, floating, and escaping gravity's pull. We've invented countless ways to cheat it temporarily, from muscle power to million-dollar machines, but gravity remains patient. It doesn't need to chase us. It already has us. Here's the ultimate truth about defying gravity. We can't, not really. We can push back, get creative, strap rockets to ourselves, and scream at physics, but gravity always gets the last word. Every human flag eventually comes down, every rock climber returns to Earth, and every astronaut floating in space is still just falling falling in the most beautiful way possible. But maybe that's exactly the point. Our obsession with defying gravity isn't really about beating physics. It's about pushing the boundaries of what's humanly possible, even when we know the universe will win. It's humanity at its most beautifully stubborn, looking at an immutable law of nature and saying, yeah, but what if we tried anyway? And in that trying, we've learned to fly, to dance with forces beyond our control, and to find moments of grace in our eternal negotiation with the cosmos. Thanks for watching this episode of Natural Forces. If you enjoyed seeing humans have their ongoing argument with physics, make sure to subscribe for more explorations of the forces that shape our universe and the ways humans are shaped and challenged from encountering them.